welcome to the Midlanders Podcast. I'm Jodie Marie.
No,
and
I
this
didn't like
is...
that. You didn't say hi.
Okay.
Yeah, go on.
Hi, welcome to the Midlanders Podcast. I'm Jodie Marie, and this is...
Nick, hello.
Hi. So today we asked a question on our community page on our YouTube channels. And I asked the question, what is the most ridiculous or crazy thing you've spent too much money on? Because I think we've all got bad habits where
No comment.
we just have moments where we spend a ridiculous amount of money on things we don't really need. So yeah, I just wanted to see what you guys had done. So yeah, that's what the question of the day is going to be. Nick,
Exciting.
I'm going to ask you first before we start with the questions. What do you think your most ridiculous amount of money was spent on?
Well, you need to ask that. No, I think, to be honest with you, I would go through phases of like having really urges to like spend things, and I'm very like shop happy, do you know what I mean? And I go through these phases and when I just seem to like want something. So the one thing that stands out to me first, before I get on to the most obvious, is I think it was either last year or the year before, I was really obsessed with like wanting to change my hair, and it was like really short and it was really damaged. I think it was the year before actually. And I was like obsessed with having hair extensions. I was looking at all these different things and I was thinking, yeah, it's a super good idea, even though like my hairdresser looking at me saying your hair's way too short, it's just not going to work. And then somebody else said, no, it will work. So I paid £650 for these hair extensions, right? And that was to have them fitted as well. Now, the person I went to, she literally wasn't even there when she colour matched me. She just did it by this other person. And then she put them all in, and oh my God, it was the worst thing I've ever had in my life, right? They hurt like hell. You could see them. There was no blend. They literally stayed in 24 hours. Then they were out. I was like, get these out. I hate them. I've still got them now, but that was such a waste of money. There's been times, where I spend things and then it's such a waste. Like if I've booked holidays, I'm like, yeah, this is good, and then I don't do it. But I must be open and honest with you now, guys. You probably know what's coming if you watch me. My bear obsession. If I'm brutally honest. I mean, like, the cheapest bear that you can get is like 39 quid, which, okay, maybe. They don't look amazing for that price though. But your average bear, you're looking at about £100 a bear. And over the last couple of months, I've gone a little bit obsessed with buying these bears, if I'm brutally honest, and spent way more than I should have done and even got. So that must be my most craziest, bizarrest thing where I've spent the most money on, especially in the shortest amount of time. It was one of those things again, it's cute, I liked it, and got a bit, and then it was like, I like that one. And you just have a big mad splurge. So that was me. So now, what about you? Make me feel normal, Jode.
To be honest though, Nick, I feel like we're completely opposite in this type of thing, because I'm really conservative with my money.
Oh God, not me then.
I am. I'm really careful with what I spend. However, I have spent a ridiculous amount of money on things, but it's always been things that I'm going to use for a long time, or something that's going to come in useful. Because I mean, at the time, you could say that the amount of mics that I bought for ASMR was a ridiculous amount, because I bought so many in a short period of time.
Yeah.
But then it's worked out for me because I'm still doing it, but it could have been a waste. So I'm trying to think. My husband made a good point, because he said that alcohol in his 20s, he spent a huge amount of money on alcohol in his 20s, and he could have probably done a lot better with it. So that's also something that I did during my 20s. I was out Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday drinking, and I could have done so much more with that money. I travel, but I never consider that a waste, because I feel like traveling is good for memories, good for just seeing other cultures, like it's good for education. rest. It's good for
Yeah.
rest. Like it's I don't consider that like a crazy amount of money really, because it's going to benefit me in some way. But yeah, I'm sorry, Nick, I'm completely opposite to you, but I did want to just see what other people did with their money and like what they consider wasteful, or not wasteful, but a crazy amount or
Yeah.
ridiculous for what
I've,
it
I've,
is.
al- I've always sort of been that way though, and I go through moments of like, I've always been a bit of a collector if I'm honest. Like even when I was a kid, I used to collect like Pogs, and then it was like Spice Girls photos, and then it was like Puppy in My Pocket, and then it was like this Dog World thing, and then like it was like when my son was younger, he would have like all the little cars from the cars, Disney cars. I had to have every single one of them. It was just like stuff like that. I get like that, but you know, them things necessarily didn't cost a fortune. You know, then I used to collect Disney
Yeah.
animator dolls. They used to be about what, I don't know how much, worth 40 quid or whatever for one, and I've still got those. And I get that, but then again, that wasn't stupidly expensive, and it was over like a long period of time. But I just think I've wasted so much money over my life. Especially like buying stuff that I don't need or random stuff, but you know, it's little things that add up. But definitely the hair extension thing was just that was just bizarre. And then obviously the bears, and I keep justifying myself with the bears, thinking yeah, I could sell them, which I could. If I sell them, I'd get my money back. They don't lose value, but at some point they might be worth a little bit more. But if I sell them, I'd at least get my money back. So I could say that, but then it's like I've got to that point now, but I like that one. Which one do I sell? Do I sell that one? I don't know. So, but I've kind of had a bit of a reality check, put it this way, the last week over it. So, but reading some of the comments, I don't think I'm the only one, Jode. So that does make me feel a bit better. It's just you're just normal.
No, I don't think I'm normal. I think I'm overly cautious. That's my problem. I mean, don't get me wrong, I've spent a lot of money on clothes, actually. And some that I've probably only wore like 3 times and then got fed up of it as well back in my younger day. I'm trying to be a lot better now though. But yeah, I have done that with retail therapy. Just like
So
every time I get over getting a new outfit.
booze. Clothes and booze.
Yeah, definitely.
The clothes to go out and have the booze.
Exactly. I used to have a new outfit every weekend for the partying. Crazy.
Oh, God,
okay,
Jode.
so the things that people have said. The amount of money I've spent on fruit just for it to go bad because I can't get to it truly upsets me.
Yes.
Do you do that? Yeah.
That's one thing that my husband says to me, because why have you bought fruit? Because you never eat it, it just sits there, and then you go to have it and then it's out of date.
I'm going to give you a wonderful hack for this, right? Because I had to bring fruit into my habit because I used to do that as well. But obviously, being vegan now, I have to make sure that I do get enough nutrients. I now put my fruit in a tiered basket that Lizzie bought me. You know, tell me a ASMR name. Lizzie Lestrange.
Oh, yes, yeah.
Yeah, ASMR. She bought it me from my throne wish list. I've now got that on my kitchen table, so whenever I walk past it, if I'm feeling peckish, I grab my fruit. My biscuits and crisps are in a drawer shut, so I have to work to get that out. So I'll make sure that snacky things I can see, because I'm a visual person, I need things in front of me. So I rarely go to the snack drawer now because that's work, and the fruit is out and open. So if you need help with that, that might help. It's helped me, and I have been one of those people that don't have left fruit to go bad because like I've just not eaten it, but now it's in my sight to make sure of it.
I do think that. I do get quite forgetful with fruit, but that's okay. But then there's some fruit goes in the fridge, and then it's always that I forget. You know, if I buy apples or like kiwis or passion fruits and everything, because I like all my fruit in the fridge really, apart from bananas.
Right, see, I'll keep mine out. My kiwis and that keep out. The only thing I put in the fridge are watermelon.
They last so much longer though by being in the fridge. But some things, like when I've had a mango, it's been in the fridge, but I've had to take it out for a day or so before I could actually eat it, and I didn't
Yeah,
know.
because yeah,
So
yeah.
that's a
That's
good
why I
tip.
tend to leave mine out. What lasts longer in the fridge? Because I always find like strawberries and stuff, they go off really quickly even if they're in the fridge.
Yeah, strawberries, raspberries aren't the best example, but I've had things like apples, oranges, grapes, kiwis, passion fruits, mangoes, pineapples, everything like that I've had in the freezer, and they do last quite a while. But me being still me, I forget to have them.
Yeah. See, that's just leave it out, Nick. Regardless of how long it lasts, you'll probably eat it within the week, and you won't need to worry about it being in the fridge.
I'll have to try
Because you'll
that.
use it anyway. So yeah,
And then if I
keep
still
it
don't
out.
eat it, then I've just got issues.
Yeah, it might have worked for some people. It worked for me. So have you got one? What have yours said?
The first one that came up was Lego sets.
Oh yeah, that's a massive one. You know, my uncle spends a lot on Lego set.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's huge.
So yeah, Lego sets, which I can understand because they are super expensive, and I'm guessing some
Yeah.
people, well, I don't know what there is, but they cost like, oops,
They're also
it just popped out my ear. Hang on, sorry, I didn't hear you.
no, it's okay. They're also because they're quite a puzzle thing. You know, you have to build it up yourself. It's kind of like a mind thing as well, isn't
and
it?
some of them are big, aren't they? Like I was thinking about the
Yeah.
Star Wars ones. They're so expensive, and even now, like the small Lego kits, I think are at least £10 just for a small set. So imagine the price of the big thing. So I can understand why people spend a lot on that. But I suppose if you have fun making it, but yeah.
Yeah. Wild. Then someone said virtual good for online games. I'm guessing that's goods. So virtual goods for online games where you like.
So
I'm
downloadable
guessing you.
content,
Yeah,
yeah,
I think
stuff like
so.
that.
I'm not a gamer, so I was hoping that you'd help me there. Is it when you like buy armor for a
Yes,
certain
yeah,
character and stuff like that?
yeah.
That
So
racks up
like,
fast, I can imagine.
yeah. So obviously you've got your games like your mobile games, for example. Then you want to buy like coins, or you want to buy energy or whatever. Or you've got ones like, so like Sims and stuff, and then you have like add-on expansion packs, and they're like really expensive. Or then like my daughter plays like Overwatch and stuff. And I think you have to have certain coins to get like skins or whatever. And it's just that is obviously it's just endless, isn't it?
Yeah, did you
And
spend
probably
money on Coin
pointless.
Master?
No.
Did you? You know what though, I did as well. It's so addicted. I think I spent like 15 quid, which isn't bad, but
I'll probably
it's
spend a bit
still
more than that,
£15
Joe.
I could have done anything else with. But then I thought I can't play this anymore because I can't be spending £15 a month on a game.
To be honest, I was quite good with it. To be fair, because sometimes if I got like an offer pack on, and then I ended up racking up loads of others that I'd earned, so then I'd have a big burst of everything. I wouldn't need it. Then I'd win, and do it like
Yeah.
that. So overall, I probably didn't spend a great deal, but I've still spent way more than I should have. And I just I've give up with that now. You left me and stopped playing it, and then I kind of got bored then.
You know what though? I just got busy and I sorted my life out, Nick. Because while I was playing that game, I wore myself. So that was just distracting me from everything. So then once I'd sorted everything out, I was like, oh, I've got to
Don't
sort my
need that
life out, and I
anymore.
ain't got time to play the game.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because I just did it really when I was lying in bed, like trying to go
yeah,
to sleep. So I'd do that and not realising that's actually keeping my brain active.
yeah.
So,
Let me have a look.
so
Record fairs. Oh, sorry. Oh yeah, it's your fault. It's your turn.
okay. Someone said sports bra. Bloody, how much was the sports bra?
Wow. You know what though? Girls with big boobs, they have trouble. Like their bras are so expensive, so I can imagine to
Yeah,
get a
'cause it
good
makes me wonder
sports
though.
bra to support them. Like Yeah, I can
Then
imagine that's bad.
if you're buying designer and stuff, I suppose that's gonna rack it up a little bit.
Yeah.
So
How much?
what else?
What's the most expensive bra you've ever bought, Nick?
Oh,
Because you've got
if
a
I'm
bigger
honest,
chest than me.
I try to buy cheap. Because I like, especially these days, I like to have a big splurge of underwear because I do it for a video and then I like to
Yeah, yeah,
keep
yeah.
stuff. I'd say, if I'm honest with you, the most expensive on one bra would only be about probably 40 quid, and that must be from like M&S from like back in the day kind of thing. But if I'm buying loads of underwear at once, I could at least definitely spend over 100 and something quid. But
Yeah,
it's
of
for
course.
content, then to keep. So not really.
Yeah.
What about you? Have you spent a lot or?
Probably about 40 quid the same, to be fair. I think that's quite expensive though, I do.
It is. I think it's
Considering you
expensive.
can get like some bras for 10, 12, but they are the best fitting.
Because most of my bras I actually do get from George, like Asda.
Yeah.
And to be honest, you're looking at 9 quid or something like that for one of the more decent ones they have. But my last lot of bras that were in my lingerie video that actually went up yesterday, they were all from Primark. And to be honest, the quality is so much better than the ones I bought from Primark last time. So I can see that things have changed from there. But they were like 9 quid, 12 quid, and then it was like a pack of 3 for like 14 quid, I think. But you know, I thought that was pretty reasonable, but they're not the best bras, if I'm honest.
Yeah, yeah.
But you pay for what
Yeah,
you get, I
so
suppose.
that's true. It is true. So someone said record fairs in the late 1980s, which tended to be held at city hall type venues. I was always looking for live recordings, bootleg on vinyl, and later CD. A big waste because some 20 years later, the band I wanted rare recordings from then ended up producing archive CD box set with higher quality recordings. So
Do you
because I'm
mean
not really,
vinyls then? Does it mean
yeah, I think
vinyls?
so.
Well, vinyls are coming back round again, aren't they? I've noticed.
Yeah, they have
Some,
started to. But yeah, it seems like he's saying that this is what I thought was interesting as well, because it's mad how you can spend such a lot of money on something that's relevant in the moment, and then 20 years later it means nothing to you. Or it meant something at the time, but now it doesn't matter because you can't play it.
yeah,
It's rare people have vinyl record players now.
yeah,
So like CDs are going out, like it's going to be
yeah,
all digital very shortly.
yeah.
So yeah, it's crazy how you buy these things and then they mean nothing like
There's,
years later.
but thing is though, I mean, there's not many stuff that you do buy that lasts. It's all seems to be for in the moment, isn't it? Really, or at least
Yeah,
every year or something.
it
Apart
is
from
now
obviously
anyway.
my wedding ring and that. Obviously, that's been since I've been married. I don't really. Other than that, I don't really know what I could say I've bought that's I've had money from it years later or use from.
Yeah,
Mm, mm.
crazy, isn't
Okay,
it? How lifestyle we've become.
I know.
Um,
So somebody said a €600 massage seat. So that's pretty 1-to-1, aren't
wow.
we? So that's nearly 600 quid, isn't it? Here, it's pretty much the same euros, I
Yeah.
think. Never used to be. It used to be a
Still
good
though,
gap.
if you're using it, then it's lovely. But if you're not,
Then
because
it's a
sometimes
waste.
in your head this seems like, oh yeah, it's such a good idea, I'm going to use it all the time. You use it twice, then you
Yeah.
get busy, life gets busy, you forget to use it, and then it's just sitting in the corner, or you find that actually I've got nowhere to put it, so it's in the
Yeah.
garage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, I mean that's expensive. I mean, you can get cheaper ones than that because I have seen things, but a chair itself, they are probably on the more pricey side. But if you are using it day in day out, okay, yeah, it's a lot of money out there, but you're benefiting from it, aren't you? You're using it, get your money's worth. That's the way you got to look at it. Even though you might sit and think, God, that was a bit much. Yeah, it probably is, but did you use it? Yeah, if you bought it and thought, yeah, I'm going to use that, I'll use it for a month, then yeah, I can agree that, you know.
To be fair though, you have all good intentions when you buy these things, and then you just don't continue with it.
Yeah.
You never buy something thinking, oh, I'll only need that for a month. You're buying it thinking, oh yes, I'm going to use it all the time. You're excited about it, and then the excitement leaves you when you've got it, and you're like, oh, I'm not going to use it anymore. You don't think about not using it, but you just don't think about using it either.
Yeah.
Whiskey, of which some bottles 2 years on and still haven't opened them. Wow.
Isn't that meant to be, that doesn't matter though, does it, with that kind of alcohol? Is that right?
I don't think so. I asked, really, is it because it's too fancy to open, or you just went through a phase? And then he put, now I only drink a couple of glasses on a Saturday and Sunday. Don't drink when I'm working during the week. And that was it. So yeah, like, I'm guessing family buy him and then it's just in the cupboard and he just drinks it slowly.
Yeah, and it's just building up.
Yeah, and he buys them himself that he thinks, oh, I'll try them. And then
if you haven't opened it though, I think it's meant to be better the older it is, or something like that, isn't it, with whiskey?
I think so, yeah.
I think. So you never know, not necessarily wasted then.
No.
Have it in a positive, you might have it soon.
Yeah, I don't think that's a waste, really. If it's something you enjoy.
Yeah, it does. I mean, if you're going to have it, like, say, just on the weekends, okay, you might not be drinking it all in one, but you've still got it there. But I suppose if he keeps adding to it and he still hasn't finished the last lot, then I suppose that's, yeah. Okay, so somebody put $400 on hair colouring. Easily done, though.
Yeah, definitely.
If I'm brutally honest. I mean, it costs me, like, my hair that I've just had done, which shouldn't have been this colour, guys. It cost me 150 quid, and then I still had to correct it myself.
I actually think it looks nice, that colour, Nick. I said to you before you started the podcast, I said, oh, your hair looks nice. Well, I said you look really nice, and I think it's because of the colour of the hair. It's really suits you, because it's like a sandy blonde, isn't it?
Yeah, a lot of people have says it goes all right. Now, basically, I was meant to be having my roots done and then tone, but because I was trying to help the condition, I was trying to have, like, your colour, wasn't I? That's what I said to you. But she ended up, like, putting it on, and it was just, like, bright ginger, because she just put a toner on to see how I'd feel it, and then she put, like, a colour mask on. It made it wishy-washy. And like you said, I looked like my bloody salt lamp. That just had me in stitches, because it was, like, behind me. So I mentioned you actually in my Get Ready With Me that I did. I went in, Jodie Marie ASMR said I look like my salt lamp. So yeah.
It was that type of peachy colour though.
Yeah, it was really weird. So obviously what I had to do, I had to try and get it out myself because it just looked awful.
It didn't look bad. It didn't look bad.
You know, when you got everyone in your house telling you it looks like shit, then yeah. So I managed to do it, and then I dyed it myself, but the tone that I dyed on my hair would normally make it like a more of a whitey type blonde, but because it had the gingery on underneath, it's made it this kind of shape. But it works. Do you know what I mean?
It does. I like it. Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. With somebody spending $400, yeah, that's a lot in one go, but it's easily done. And depends where you go, isn't it? And then, like me, that would have cost me an extra 40 quid on top of what I paid. So what's that? Nearly £200 anyway, to get the hair done. So you're not far off, are you, really?
Nah.
But
did you just go to a really expensive stylist? Did you have your hair cut as well? Because £400 just on colour, maybe highlights, because then you pay for each colour as well.
If they said hair colouring, I'm assuming they just mean literally colouring, or you would have said hairdressers probably, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Hence, it might have been a matter. I mean, was the hair good? Whoever wrote this, I did say I won't mention names when I asked the question, but if you are watching this, was it just colouring? And what did you actually have done? And did you like it? Because that's the important thing, isn't it? So if you are watching this, let us know.
Yeah. Someone said guitars. If I'm being honest, at least I can justify some for work, but the rest are just collecting basically. Yeah, so it's having a hobby and knowing when to stop, like, but then you see one that you like and you think, oh, I'll just really like the look of that, and then you buy it.
Did he say for
and
work?
Then it's just sitting there. Yeah.
I'm guessing he's a music teacher or musician.
Yes, probably, or some sort of musician, I would have thought. I didn't
Well, that's
ask.
not. If that's the case, then it's probably not wasted so much, is it? If it is your job as well.
Yeah.
But if they are just sat there and you're looking at them, then yeah, that's probably a bit of a waste.
And instruments can be really expensive as well.
Oh yes, yeah, definitely. So I've got one saying an autographed photo of Vincent Price that says to Katie for $300. Priceless to me.
Wow, I don't even know who that is.
I'm really confused. Can you Google?
It's an autograph, isn't it? But
So an autograph is obviously, you don't really get them anymore, do you? Unless you go to like a book signing or something. Like if you saw someone down the street, you wouldn't go, hey, can I have your autograph? You'd go, hey, can I have a selfie, wouldn't you?
Yeah,
but if you went to say
yeah.
a book signing, you would sign your book, for example. But who's Vincent Price?
An American actor and art historian thing. I'm guessing like his 50s, 60s
Oh.
type of actor.
Don't know who that is. So there was so it said on there to Katie.
Yeah.
Does he meant for Katie Price?
He looks like Salvador Dali.
Yeah, but who's Katie?
The girl.
Oh, hang on. I know we're going to mention names, but her name's Katie.
Exactly.
I get it now. That. Well, I didn't guess it, all right. I'm literally right. Me being an idiot. Oh, no, seriously, right. My brain is not wired right. To me, it said that this person, because I didn't read the name of the person, but it read to me, they got this photo of Vincent Price, and it said on him to Katie, as in Katie Price.
Oh, you put Katie and Price together?
Yeah, I did. For £300. So I get it now. So this guy autographed his photo addressed to Katie, the one who wrote the comment, and charged $300 for it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is he still alive?
I don't think so. 1911 he was born.
So bloody how old is this person then? That born in 1911.
I don't know.
Katie.
The right person. That's who came up to start with.
So, Katie, if you are watching this, please clarify that you meant you got a picture of Vincent Price signed with your name on it for $300. And is it the Vincent Price that Jodie showed? And does that make you like ancient? I'm so confused because if he's dead, surely he died like donkeys ago.
Yeah, but don't forget, so he was born in 1911, but he probably was famous in acting during the 40s, 50s and 60s. So she could have been like 13 in the 60s.
It's all right, I've just checked his date of birth, don't worry. And that he died in 25th of October 1993. So that makes sense then. So you'd be like, what, if you were born in, like I was born in 86, so I was what, like 7 or something like that then. So she could have been a lot older. So it makes sense.
15,
so no,
16.
Or even older or younger. So it makes sense. Just me being thick, don't worry.
Just having a day. It was my turn last week.
Ooh.
Okay. This one might be interesting.
What did you say?
This one could be interesting because this is quite one of those Twitter debates.
Okay.
So someone said, she spends too much money on rent, utility, healthcare, and food. Right?
Mm.
And she was like, and these should be basic human rights. So, for part of it, I can agree, but I also said it's one of those arguments because it takes a lot of skill to provide healthcare, homes, and food because obviously farmers and whatever, they have to work to provide that for us all. So I was like, and then for that skill, people want to be paid and well for it. So I know that it's like it should be a basic human right, but in a perfect, lovely world, that would be amazing. But to me, we're not in a perfect world, so we have to find the best way to like work it, I guess. Personally, I do understand about the healthcare because I know in some countries like it's extortionate, but even in where it's free, here in the UK, we still have to pay for it slightly with tax. But what are your thoughts on it? Do you think that like housing, healthcare, and food should be free? Like our basic human rights, should that just be what we get for nothing?
Why? My question is, why should we be given that? Like,
yeah, that's what I think as
like,
well.
Like, we should all have access.
Too easy, like, you wouldn't
we
have
all
nothing to work towards.
We all should have access to healthcare, one way or another. We should have access to it, and it should be of it should be substantial. It shouldn't be beyond the odds like it is in America and places like that. Here, it should be a lot more accessible than what it is, because obviously it's just getting worse. But obviously, like you say, we do contribute to that anyway. But I feel like there is a basic right that everyone should be entitled to it some way. Not necessarily free, but it should be affordable for everybody. Everyone should be able to have it. And even people that if you're homeless, for example, you should be able to go and get some kind of care. That I do think it's not right just saying to that person, oh, we ain't got a house, so you get to stay on the streets and die. I just don't agree with that.
No.
But it's like in America, you're not getting seen if you don't pay, and I just don't agree with all that either. And that one's a bit funny. But when it comes to things like having your own house and stuff, I mean, do you if you're going to buy a house, why I just it's hard one, isn't it? Because we all should be able to have stuff, but life doesn't work like that, does it? You have to work towards things.
Well, I mean, obviously in the UK there is like housing association and things like that will help you get into a home, or some sort of shelter, like somewhere to live. It might not be where you want to be, and you'll have to pay rent for it, but you'll be in a home.
There's hotels that can put you in hostels. Not everyone, though. Some people are still on the streets, and obviously I don't know why or how and different things like that, because obviously everyone's circumstances is different. But we all should kind of have some shelter of some sort. There should be something. I just don't know. It just be like if there's people homeless, it's a hard one when it comes to housing, because my first question would be like, why are they homeless? Like, why isn't there any help available for them? Like, but then it's a hard one again, isn't it? Because you think, well, I've been through like hardly any money, like loads of debt and everything like that. I've had no help off the government. We've never been able to have a council house, never been offered to be put up anywhere or anything like that. But we've struggled and had to work through it, and just finances and our lifestyle to fit, to keep a rented house and then to be able to buy our own house. Do you know what I mean? But are people saying that I should just be given a house for free no matter what? Where's the incentive in that?
I know, yes. That's what I said. I said it's one of those arguments, but you can see why it's a Twitter argument. People love this type of thing on Twitter.
Yeah.
But I just think, like, how would you make it possible? If someone can explain to me how they would make it possible, fine.
Well,
But it
but
would
if
just be
that's the
so
case,
difficult.
but then it's going to be as well then, okay, so has everything got to be the same? Because if you're giving everyone a free house, why should
Yeah.
somebody get a mansion and then Joe Bloggs down the street can only have like a 2-bed terrace or something like that? So where do you draw the line of, okay, everyone's going to have a 2-bed terraced house for free and then do what you wish from there on? Do you know what I mean? Like, where do you
Yeah.
start? Or no matter what, you can get a 4-bed house. It's going to be one of those things. But I do think everyone should be entitled to have some kind of shelter of some sort.
Mm-hmm.
But you've got, also, you need to help yourself, I think, because sometimes people don't help themselves and want something for nothing. And I think that's where it can be a negative problem. But like food and stuff, again, you know, everyone should be entitled to some food, but if you can't afford food, there's food banks here in the UK. I don't know, there probably is elsewhere. Okay, they don't give you a great deal, you know, but there's still that option. Does that mean they think that everyone should have a full week's worth of shop given to them every week for free? Like, who's going to fund that? Like, you're going to get down the line, if you're given everything like that, what do you need money for?
Well, that's my question. I said, like, what do you think you'd spend that money on if you hadn't got to spend it on housing, food, or what would you spend your money on? Just stuff.
I mean,
then you just overcrowd yourself with stuff that you're not going to need in a month or a year. Like, you know what I mean? It just becomes wasteful when we've got more money.
Yeah, I do feel like, you know, things should be a bit more accessible to people across the board, I think. Like, because I've gone obviously from having like no money, debt, obviously, to being a more comfortable in life. So I've gone through all of the kind of things, really, but obviously I haven't been homeless. But
you know what though, Nick? Fair play for you from going to rent to then a mortgage, because it's so hard to save for a deposit while renting. So fair play. And to anyone else that's ever done that, like, fair play. Honestly.
Yeah, it is hard, and like obviously I had to move out because I was pregnant. You know, my stepdad wouldn't let me stay there. I was only 21. You know, and we didn't think we'd ever be in the situation to buy. So it's like such a huge, massive achievement to us. Like, if I was just given that, I wouldn't have the same kind of pride over it. Like, my house is just like my everything. Do you know what I mean? And I think is it because, you know, we've always rented, do you know what I mean? I've never had my own thing, and then to sit there and buy, then to be able to sell that house to buy my next house, which is what I'm in now, like, it's not been easy, and people just assume like, oh yeah, you've got loads of money, you do this, that and the other. Well, no, I've just worked my fucking arse off. Do you know what I mean? But it's one of those things as well. It is a hard one, and that's why I'm very stuttery with it, because I'm very conflicted, because I've got, people should be able to eat. You know, I don't want to see people starving and having nothing
Obviously
to eat, because that's just not normal. That's not right. But then also, why should somebody have to give us food to live? I mean, and that's when people get benefits, don't they, to help with stuff like that. I mean, we don't have any benefits. I did do when I didn't work, but just to like for the kids. And I don't even get child benefit anymore, so we don't have anything like that. But most households do get like child benefit and stuff like that. So technically, you are getting something if you've got a kid. But yeah, I think healthcare everyone should have access to it one way or another.
No,
food.
I agree.
Again, everyone deserves to get food, but why does everyone else have to pay for it? I don't. It's really like controversial topic, isn't it? Really.
Yeah. But yeah. So personally, I don't think those are crazy or ridiculous things to spend on. I think they're useful, and I think they'll keep you safe. They'll keep you healthy. Because I mean, I've had to go private for medical care myself because I couldn't get into the NHS at the time, and it was kind of urgent, so I needed it sorted. And I don't consider that a waste at all. I'm very lucky that I've had the opportunity to afford it, but I don't consider it a waste of money. Although it was a lot of money, I don't consider it a waste at all, because I'm better now.
Yeah, 100%. I don't.
what else would I have spent that money on anyway? Like, so
I mean,
yeah, I'm just.
I do agree with you. I mean, I've gone private, like on and off, paid myself throughout the years, and obviously I'm lucky enough to have medical insurance. My husband work, but that to me is not a waste of money at all, because when I've had that care, I've had it because I haven't been able to get it on the NHS, or I wasn't good enough care or whatever, and it's such a godsend. I mean, obviously my husband gets it included in his work, but he has to pay so much to have me on the policy, and it's not that much, to be honest. It's like pittance, do you know what I mean? It's great, but he still has to contribute towards it. But it's the best thing. He said to me, it's the best thing I pay for, because the amount of times that I need medical cover, it is been so useful. I mean, like when I found that lump that I mentioned before, I phoned up. I was in the next day. Do you know what I mean? I hadn't got to worry about it. So to me, that's not a waste. And obviously buying food and stuff like that, well, that's not a waste of money, is it? I mean, you buy what you want to buy. Like, if you want to buy, say, 30 quid's worth of stuff, then you get 30 quid's worth of stuff. However, that's where it's the other thing. Food has gone up dramatically, and I think way above the odds. Like, some of the stuff that you're getting now is an absolute fortune. We used to get a week shop for the four of us, was always around 70 quid. We're now spending £140 a week for the same stuff.
Wow.
That's just escalated.
Ours has doubled as well. Ours has doubled. There's
Do you know what I mean?
Two of us, and we spend like £60-70.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. And we've tried to cut back, try different things, try different supermarkets, and I think a lot of it is above the odds. And I know you are obviously vegan, so I won't go into too much of that. But the cost of like meat, for example, has rocketed through the roof.
Yeah. That's one thing I save money on, to be honest. That's why my bill's not as high.
Do you know what?
I don't eat meat.
100%, because it is extortionate. Like, it is. And like looking at the cost, and I was like, said to Dan, I said, this is just ridiculous. I said, at this rate, I'm going to be bloody vegan anyway, because I can't afford to pay for the fucking stuff. Like,
and it's mad because vegans get we get the crap about our diets being very expensive. No, my diet isn't that expensive at all compared to.
I know what I'm saying, because some things are expensive, like I've looked into and that. But there's ways of obviously buying it necessarily that aren't labelled as vegan. Because I think if your stuff are labelled, sometimes the price is high. But like seriously, like I don't want to say too much. I don't want to offend you, but like for example, with like. Steak, for example, that you used to be able to get that. No, not steak, like a roast beef. You'd used to be able to pay like £7 for a joint, like on the decent type. You're looking minimum now 16.
Yeah, I can imagine.
And where's that going? You're lining the farmer's pockets, or I just don't get it. But stuff like that, basically, and it got to that. But with me and Dan, we've had to cut loads back on stuff like that. I suppose that's a way it's helping. We're not having as much, I guess, and they're probably feeling the effects maybe because people aren't buying as much. Is that why they're putting their costs up as well? Do you know what I mean?
I think weather's to do with a lot of it as well, though. I was reading in The Guardian that the weather has prevented crops to grow, so obviously they haven't been able to feed the cows as much soy as they usually would and things like that. So I think the weather's definitely been huge, like on our crops and stuff as well this year. That's what I was reading anyway. I don't know how true it is, you know what the newspaper's like. Yeah. But yeah, I've read that it's taken mass.
Well, that's, I mean, that is all expensive, isn't it? It does add up big time. Like I said, if we just, because we did a stock up elsewhere and then Dan went shopping and it wasn't even 80 quid. So that proved to me how much meat is adding on the bill. And it's very something to think about, actually. Especially in terms of cost. But yeah, I do feel like that's not a waste. And obviously buying clothes and stuff like that, well, back in the day we never used to wear clothes or whatever, did we? And like, well, not in my day, guys, but you know. But to my kids it's probably in my day, but you know. But then you buy what you want to buy again. You don't have to go out and spend an absolute fortune on something, do you? Or oh yeah, I don't know about that question.
I think it's the clothes is the excessive buying. Like we don't buy just what we need. We buy things we like, things we probably won't wear after being like wearing it twice. We
Yeah.
buy new things for holidays every time we go, and then we probably won't wear it the next time because we're buying more stuff that.
Well, that makes sense. Yeah, you waste a lot of money by doing that. I do agree with that.
Yeah.
And probably as well, that person probably does spend probably more money than they should on food. Like if you one month you buy loads of chocolate or biscuits or whatever, or you've bought loads of fruit and you've just let it go off, for example. Then you look in that and it is a waste, isn't it? And then if the person's in America, you think about how much could they have spent on healthcare unnecessarily, because have you seen their bills? Like, gives me a heart attack. No. But that brings me on to a point of somebody saying that they spent $750 on a jacket from All Saints. That's a lot.
Feelings. Yeah.
I mean, did you wear it?
My most expensive clothing item is probably £120, and that was my vegan trainers.
God, is that it?
That's it. I don't spend a lot of money on clothes, on like one item. I can't do that to myself. Like, what benefit is that going to give me? Like, I don't spend a lot on clothes like that. I'm not
to be honest,
designer or anything.
On one item as well, that's a lot. If I went to a shop and bought $750 worth of stuff, that's not too bad, is it? But one item, I don't think, to be honest with you, I've spent a great deal on an item of stuff. I think it's probably only recently, and I only normally do it around my birthday, if I'm brutally honest, because things are on offer. I think the most expensive, I bought a pair of sunglasses, which are like 150 quid. And
the prescription?
No, just sunglasses.
Oh, God.
The Michael Kors sunglasses. So I bought absolutely love them, the best sunglasses ever, but that's besides the point. Then I bought a pair of trainers, which I think were 150, and they were like Michael Kors ones again. Then I have handbags. I'm terrible for handbags. I think my Ralph Lauren handbag cost me 450 quid. But that's the most I've ever spent on it. And that was
still got those things?
Well, yeah, because I bought them January for my birthday, so I'll use them all the time. Yes, I'm constantly wearing them. Yes, ask me next year, we'll look back. But at the minute, and the sunglasses, I wear them all the time because absolutely perfect. Bag, I use it all the time. For me,
I get worried to spend a lot of money on things because I lose such a lot all the time. Like sunglasses, I think I've bought 3 pairs in 1 year because I've lost every pair. So like, I'm really bad at things like that, little accessories. But I need sunglasses because my eyes are really sensitive with the sun.
Yeah, I'm mine.
But because I don't wear them all the time, I forget where I've put them and then they go missing.
So
that's why I don't spend a lot of money on those things.
I used to spend cheap on sunglasses all the time, and then I'd end up breaking them all the time. So I started to get more expensive ones as I've gone along, because they last so much more. And I'm just a sunglasses person. Give me sunglasses I cannot live without, whether it is like it is today, wet, whether it's sunny. No matter when I go out in a car, I have to wear sunglasses, and they have to be dark sunglasses. My eyes are so sensitive to any kind of light.
Mine are as well.
So to me, that's not a waste of money. But like my prescription glasses that I've just ordered, I think they were. I think it's cost me about 300 quid for the glasses and the lenses. But then I could have got cheaper ones.
That's not really a waste of money because obviously that's what you.
But then it is though.
They should be a bit more. They should be cheaper.
I mean, the ones I could have got for Boots' own ones, but I went for Kate Spade like a knob. But they were probably only £50 more than a cheap ones that looked really flimsy from Boots. So I'd rather pay that extra. I'm not planning on going back to the opticians for 2 years, so technically that's 2 years worth. So it's quite. You got to weigh up, I suppose.
Yeah, that's why I said that's not a waste of money to me. I think you need those. I don't think that's a waste.
But did you wear your jacket though? I mean, do you wear it? You could wear it every day.
Yeah, you still have it.
Do you know what I mean? They'll probably put it on Vinted.
I'd be scared. I'd be scared to wear it at that price because I'd be like, what if I get a stain down it? Knowing me, I'd wear it out and someone would chick beer all down me and it'd just be sticky and you can't wash it. because they're so expensive. You have to take them into the dry cleaner. That's like 70 quid to 120 quid to get it dry cleaned.
Yeah,
And that's if it's not ruined. So, no, but fair play. Someone said a toss-up between books and movies, although I think I've taken your spot because it was your go, wasn't it? I think.
No, carry on.
No. Okay. Yeah, books and movies. I don't think that's a waste. I think they're, depending on how much you're spending, obviously, but I think books can be very educational. Like, you can learn new words in books all the time, even if they're not even educational books. You can learn new things, like just in general, from books. So I think books are a good thing, and movies, they're not good entertainment, good way to relax. If that's how you like to spend your time, then I don't think that's a waste at all. It supports the industry. You can overly watch the movie at all the times that you like. You know, it's not damaging the environment because you've got it on your computer or your phone. So yeah, I think.
Well, I think it depends, doesn't it? Because books, like nowadays, you don't need to buy a physical book, do you? There's otherwise audio books on your thing and stuff. Yeah. So obviously, if you're buying lots of excessive books, some people like a book. Like me personally, I don't really read, but when I love a good hardback book or a book. I'd rather sit there with a book than have like your whatever it's called, your Kindle or whatever. I just can't be doing with that. I just want to actually hold the book. See, the kids have got one and they use it all the time, but I'd just rather have like a proper book.
You know, the paper in books, like the rough, I know it sounds great. I can't stand it. To me, it feels like nails on a chalkboard when I'm skipping the pages.
I love it, I do. It's certain paper, isn't it? I love it. Yeah. So yeah, but movies again. I mean, we don't buy DVDs or Blu-rays or whatever. I haven't done for donkeys. But I suppose in a way it's a waste of money. I feel like, you know, when we want to watch a movie and you can rent it for say 20 quid. And it's like 20 quid just to rent, or you can have 20 quid to like buy it. And some part of me, I'm like, it's a bit of a waste of money, really. But then it's like, well, hang on a minute. If I went to the cinema to see it, it would cost me like triple that. Do you know what I mean? Just for the tickets. So we've got to that point now. We used to feel like it was a waste of money if we'd rent something, because we try not to do it. We try and restrict when we're doing it. We've got to that point now, and she thought, you know what? If I want to watch it, I'm going to watch it. It's not a waste of money, really, because it's entertaining us for a couple of hours.
Yeah.
You know, and if we can get it for the same price, would rather buy it than obviously just rent it, because if you rent it, it's kind of it, isn't it? But that brings me to remember, when you were younger, did you used to have a video shop or something near you? Like me, where I used to, we had a corner shop and it was just a video shop, and I always just going down the video shop. So we go down the video and I'd pick a mix in there, and like ice lollies, just get a pick a mix, one of these like cherry ice lollies that I used to love. You can't get them anymore. And we used to go and get a video and go home and watch a video, and then we'd have to go back and take it back. I absolutely loved doing that. I remember when I did that, I was like at primary school or something.
I never went in one, but we did have them. But yeah, I think they were kind of phasing out by the time I was the type of age to go.
Right, yeah, because I'm older than you,
they kind of already phased out by then.
Yeah. So somebody.
Oh, go on.
Go on then. So somebody put K-pop albums. One is like €40, and I have almost 20 of them and want more. I started collecting in 2022. That's not too bad, is it?
No, I don't think so.
No,
if that's who you like. Someone spent £70,000 over the past 5 years on watches.
Whoa.
Yeah, like, watches are a massive thing. Like, a lot of people love it. Watches are like cars. You're either into watches or into cars. I feel like
I'm cars.
Yeah. I'm neither.
Yeah, I'm a car person, but I don't go around collecting cars and stuff like that. But watches, I'm guessing you're into like expensive, but saying that, like Rolex, for example, is like a big brand, isn't it? Some of their watches, you can get one for like 15k and stuff, but some of them are like extortionate costs. So I want to know though, for your 70 grand, have you actually got like lots of watches, or if you literally just got like 3 or something like that? If you've got like 70 grand's worth and you've got literally like a grand each, I mean that's a lot for a watch anyway, innit? But why? Answer me this, Joe.
I reckon he's got about 2 or 3.
Really? That's a lot.
If you're spending that amount, you're spending big amounts on one watch, aren't you?
See, to me, that's a waste of money. But that's because I don't need a watch. I've got a phone that's got that on. Or you have an Apple Watch that's got like that on, or like Fitbit or whatever. I don't know, I just feel like I used to have watches when I was a kid and it was always like I have a watch on, but I just feel like it's such a wasted kind of thing nowadays. And like, you know, buy one for like 20 quid or something like that. But when I'm seeing like, when my husband was telling me about Rolexes, like his dad's got a couple of them, not the really expensive ones, but it's expensive enough. He's just like, oh yeah, I love me Rolex. I'm just like, but it's just a watch. It doesn't look any different from any of the other Rolexes that are about 20 plus grand for one. And I'm just like, I don't understand the fascination with it.
I don't either. Personally, I don't either. But it's probably just to say that you've got one, any.
Maybe.
I don't know. Someone also said sunglasses. I either sit on them or step on them, or I set a pair down and lose them.
Like you then.
Yes, I am just like that as well.
So that's true. The amount of money you spend on sunglasses because you've either broke them or lost them, it is a waste of money, isn't it? It's just ridiculous amount. So I get that. I really get that one.
Yeah.
Somebody put a hairstyling set from the USA, came to over £250, including taxes. You can mention my name if you want, Nick. That's Natty. Hello, Natty. Thank you for your comment.
I know.
So 250 quid. And that's not too bad. I mean, I can't really say a lot because my hair dryer's a Dyson. That's just the hair dryer. And then my GHD straighteners are over 100 and something quid as well. So to me, 250
quid. I don't think those are a waste, really, because it's something that you pretty much use every day, probably, and they last you 5-10 years. They can do. Yeah. If you're getting new ones every year just to keep up with what their new things are, that becomes a waste, because then you're like, you know, the other ones are just getting thrown away or ending up like just wasted. You're not using them anymore, just sitting somewhere. But if you bought them and they last, it's fine.
Like 250 quid to me on, say, hairstyling kit is like pretty average to me, because like I said, my Dyson's a few hundred quid. The GHD straighteners are, but they're so valuable, and like I use them like every time I do my hair, so it's not like they're a waste, and they're the most fantastic things. And the Dyson one, for example, saves so much drying time, it's just insane. So I don't think that's a waste, but maybe to that person that's probably, it's a lot for them. And that's what I'm saying, it's different for everyone again, isn't it? I suppose it's what's expensive to you and what's not to someone else, I guess.
Yeah. Someone put they spent a lot of money on Indiegogo and Kickstarter period. I bought one thing for $70 and never got it. Bought another thing that was a £350 dropping shipping product where they pretend they made it, but it was a cheap item from China and they were reselling it. And then I bought a bike for $1,500, which I got, but it took like 4 years. What if I died? Yeah. And she said, what if I died? Or no longer had limbs. Which, by the way, I bought another bike, so I'm not even using it, so still a waste.
So I've got a question on that one. Like, first of all, where the hell are you shopping to get all this bad luck? Like, what the hell?
I did mention it's like stores that are like new, up and coming stores.
Yeah, they're terrible stores, they are.
Yeah.
4 years for a bike.
I know.
It's not the price of the bike that I'm like,
nah,
because some bikes are expensive. You know what I mean? That it's not that. It's just the fact it took 4 years to come, but now you don't use it because that is kind of. So yeah, that person.
You can sell it, maybe.
Because that person does probably feel shit over that, and I don't blame him for feeling shit over that, to be honest with you. But how about trying to sell it or something like that, getting something for it, better than just sitting there.
Yeah.
You know. Somebody said they spent over $200 on a something deck set. That was $68 when it came out 2 years ago. Tattoos. Somebody said, while they're not,
many people spend on tattoos.
Yeah, while they're not crazy or ridiculous to me, certain friends and family feel otherwise. I've spent around 40,000 Canadian dollars. No, 14. 14, sorry.
14,000. Yes, that's still a lot of money.
It's still a lot of money, but again, it depends what you feel's valuable to you. Like, and my tattoos add up, for a good few hundred, obviously, because they're not cheap, and they're a lot more expensive now than when I had them done. They're not the best tattoos. I've seen some people have some amazing tattoos, and they are expensive, so I can sort of see how that would rack up. Somebody said,
again, it's money being spent on your own body. You're not damaging anything else. Like, it's your body. Like, it's only going on you. So
that's what I mean. There could be people who have spent loads on cosmetic surgery, for example.
Yeah.
So somebody put a figurine of Sakura from Card Captor Sakura back in 2007. That was because back then it was a rare item. I couldn't get it in any stores, and it took me till 2016 to learn how to shop on eBay. It costed me $80 for the Sakura figure, and was the size and the shape of a chess piece. She had the rank queen. I could have gotten 16 McDonald's Happy Meals with that money. Another thing that I wasted money on was a cake. It tasted good, but I got ripped off $40 a cake. That's not a good time. Another thing wasn't a waste of money if the cake tasted good, but basically this person paid $40 for a cake and it tasted vile. On the funny side, I got a cheap ring from Lord of the Rings movies off eBay. It was like $3, a crappy plastic replica, and I lost it the same way as Gollum, where I don't know how it disappeared. So somebody put, one time my spouse on a trip with a friend spent $200 and a $20 fake camera. That was smooth talking absolute legend of the street vendor was selling out the truck of his car. I was mad at the time, but honestly, in retrospect, epic hustle. So one time my spouse on a trip with a friend spent $200. Oh, they spent $200 actually on a camera that was only $20. Makes sense.
That was scammed. That's not your fault though. That was a scam.
Yeah, and then somebody put my unappreciative ex-husband. Oh, I'm sorry about
that. Yeah.
And then last one, nearly 200 on a banjo online. I was a little tipsy listening to bluegrass music one night and ordered it. When it was delivered, I was heck confused for a sec. Note, I don't know how to play music at all. It looks nice sitting there though. Thanks,
funny.
Guys. That was quite funny.
Have you ever bought anything drunk? No, I haven't either. No.
To be honest, the days I used to get drunk, I didn't really have a great deal of money, and my money I had, I used to keep for going out drinking. So.
That's it. That's same. Absolutely.
Oh, it's sad, isn't it? When I think about it back then, oh no, I can't have this, because it was always, got that's for my fags, I would go, that's for the booze on the night out. You know, it was really pathetic when you think about it. But yeah, got one, it says strip club. The people I went with didn't even try to stop me, and when I asked them the next day why didn't they stop me or got me out of there, they said there was no stopping you at that point. That's the best one tonight.
That's not a waste of money.
Absolutely love it. Did you have a good time though?
Yeah, that's all that
Definitely.
matters. That's not a waste.
Amazing. Right.
Oh. Well, that's it from us today. Unless you've got anything else to add.
No, not really. I think it was really interesting, guys. I quite like the fact that we had a little debate about each little thing as well, and our opinions on it. That was quite good. But thank you guys for watching. Yeah, thank you for participating. Really do appreciate it. So make sure you do like this podcast and make sure you do hit the subscribe button, guys.
Follow us on Instagram, the Midlanders Podcast, so you can keep updated. And then, just make sure you subscribe to Jodie Marie ASMR and Be Brave Be You ASMR so you can see the questions when we ask them, and then you can get involved in the podcast.
Yeah, so we will have another question up. We don't know what it's going to be yet, guys, but we will pop it on. We'd like to get you involved, don't we? So it gives us something to talk about, something to laugh and joke about and stuff, and you're just getting involved a little bit, so that's really good. But thank you so much for watching, guys. Do appreciate it. Until next time, bye.